Hello profit takers, it's Victoria here and we're back with another video, and today we're going to go over some of the signals that came through today. There's three of them that we're going to look at because I posted these in the locals group, GJ, AU, and US 30. So we're going to start with that first. So I hope you had a great trading day and we are off to a great week, but we have a lot of red news. Okay, so you want to be mindful of that. Okay. So this is GJ. I know you can't really tell, but I promise you it is. See if I can move this chart. I can't right now. This is going to be too much. But nonetheless, promise you this is GJ. So today, obviously, you can see that price has already, the market has already gone into the next trading day, and this was a 2 high of week and now it's 3 high of week. So this just pretend that this is 2 high of week because we're coming into the market. So today I wrote in the chat that we are at 2 high of week. We had a breakout, fell at the low for London, right? And when I saw that, I also looked left and I saw we had another one here from Friday. So the good news is it did break out. Okay, that's a check mark. We're looking for price to do that, especially if we're looking to short the market. However, it also gave us the W pattern. So when you see this, fail, obviously you're not looking to short this. I mean, you were able to probably short it in the London Open if that was the trade that you got into. But once they hit the bottom and failed in reverse, then we're off to the races. But I would have looked to take this one long anyway in London because the fact that it broke out and failed, and that's usually what we'll see on the third day. We'd see the first breakout there because that was a fail, and then we're short. And then we will see the next one here. Actually, it didn't actually break out. It hit the low and got support on Friday, all right? So that's the second one. So coming in on Monday, I was like, yeah, I'm expecting this thing to break out, but will it go far? I'm not sure. But seeing the W pattern printing, that to me was, okay, we need to look at a possible reversal trade today. Okay, so it did play out very well in the London. Now it started to do the channeling when it came up to New York. Now the funny thing is there was red folder news for the yen, but it said tentative, right? So I really wasn't sure what was going to happen. So I waited anyway, because when I see this type of pattern channeling up like that, that to me is a dead giveaway that there's going to be a drop. And of course there was the drop in the market at the high of the day. So I did not trade this drop because again, it was that news and I don't really care to trade. It's just my opinion. Anyone, if you feel a different way, you can trade the news if you want to, but I highly don't recommend it. But that put the high in the day. And so at that point I was like, okay, now in order for me to take this thing short, if that's going to be the trend, it needs to definitely retest and it needs to pull, retrace back and then give me the opportunity to go short, right? Because that's what I was thinking it was going to happen. So I was waiting and I was watching and I noticed how price continued to get support from this level. So I'm thinking, no, this isn't breaking anytime soon. So, and here's the thing. The moment I noticed that, because I had got into this trade after this pullback and I was like, okay, this trade, let me see, we might get lucky here. You know what I mean? Because usually when news drops the market like that, sometimes it trends and sometimes it just doesn't. So I got into the trade and then I sat there for a while and I was like, you know what? This is taking too long. And I got out of the trade anyway, right? That's what I did. I was not able to take this trade long or short because the long trade played out for London. The short trade did not eventuate for me in New York. It was taking too long. And then of course we got the W again and it pulled back inside to the range. All right. So now as it closed inside the range, we're going to wait and see tomorrow on if it's going to come through here and break this level, because the only way for this thing to continue to go short is it must break this level here for us to believe it, right? Because right now I just don't believe it. So right now it's in the range, and we're just going to leave it as that. But that was the trade today. I wrote in the chat, okay, this is looking like a W pattern. And, you know, with the news being tentative, I didn't know what was going to happen, but you guys all saw that the yen pairs just fell out of the sky. Okay. All right. So the other one was the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar. So this one, again, this was a 2, and I had wrote in here possible reversal set up for New York, prices breaking the previous day high, right? Because we came into the market, and by the time I got here already, it already had broke the previous day high here. Okay. And then usually when that happens, sometimes you're going to get that reversal. But it's, again, that's not a reversal that you're looking to hold, guys. You're not looking to hold this thing at all. It's just a reversal. It's not like, you know, sometimes it's not like a complete trend reversal. Sometimes these do develop as a trend reversal. Okay. But usually when I see something like that, and the way that it was creeping up here, it wasn't like the GJ, the way it was very strong with the pushes, the 1, 2, and 3s up, right? It wasn't like that to give me a beautiful drop. But with this one, you know, I ended up not playing around with it because it just didn't move like I really wanted it to. So it was something that I was looking to trade, but I ended up not trading it because just the way the price action was going, it wasn't anything that was looking interesting. Because it came here, guys, took out, you know, we had that breakout, and then it went back up, but then it got support again. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, if it doesn't take out that high, then, you know, we're doing nothing right now. So perhaps tomorrow, now that we have this high in place, perhaps tomorrow we may have an opportunity. I'm not sure, but we're going to go ahead and mark that level there. And we're looking for this thing to get equal highs or break it. You know, it's either going to be 1, 2, or 3 things, right? It's either going to break above and continue to go long, or it's going to get to this high here, and then it's going to have equal highs, and then it's going to then reverse. So we're just going to have to wait and see how that's going to play out tomorrow. And then US 30 was another one that I was looking at. This one, I put US 30, S&P, and NAS were all presenting similar patterns, right? We see the breakout. Let me see here. Yep. We see the, let me see. This one was actually, I think this one confirmed. Yes, because this was Thursday, actually not Thursday, but Wednesday here, we had it was a 3 high of week. And I was saying, I see the 3 days of breaks, right? Friday put in this low, and I was totally expecting for this to be a reversal trade. And look how it's an ugly looking W, but it's an ugly W for sure. Okay, definitely. So we see 3 days of breaks, Friday put in a low, and I would expect another retest to the low for a possible long. So, and then of course it gave us what we wanted. It wasn't nice, right? It wasn't like the best W pattern ever, but it still did what it did. And we confirmed Friday's low, and we're in. And again, today it would have changed from the 3 here, and this would have shown 1 low of day. And so now it's 2. So tomorrow, the idea is that we should definitely see a trend trade since we have our first push out here. So tomorrow we wanted to push through this high for us to go long. Okay. And usually that will eventuate, but we're going to wait and see. We're not going to be, you know, tomorrow could be nothing. It could just range tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, it will finally show up. Right. So we're just going to we're going to be patient and wait to see what the market is going to do for us on tomorrow. But this one, definitely, I was feeling really confident that we were going to have a long trade. And that long trade actually confirmed the new trend, but this still needs to confirm for us tomorrow by breaking above and giving us that break above the previous day high. Okay. All right. Let's look at one more. I don't want to keep you all too long because I want to keep these things short and to the point. Let's look at oil because this one I did take today. Now, nothing had confirmed yet. This wasn't showing two high of week or one high of week by the time, this trade was, that I took this trade, right? And, but because price was in a box and we had a peak high on Friday, we actually had a peak high and low, but the thing was Friday did not take out the previous day. It didn't even come close. Okay. So they left some space here. And then when price came up to the high and we got our first breakout fell there, that to me was like, okay, that's number one. Okay. And then, in New York, price ended up breaking through yesterday's low. That is a check right there. And it came to the final stop here at last week's low. So I took my entries out at last week's low. That's what I was waiting for because I knew that this space here needed to complete because it looked, you had two areas here where there was space that was left. So I was very, very, very happy with this trade. It was a beautiful trade today. Way better than AU. I don't even know why. Sometimes I'm looking at AU. I'm like, this is the second time you went slow on me. I don't got time for that. But this one was such a beautiful pattern, guys. You just couldn't miss it. You had your break-in structure, and then you had your break-up structure, and you had a beautiful M pattern print. I mean, right at New York. I mean, this had everything going for it. I'm sorry, these things, that I don't want to act right. But you get the point, okay? You get the point. This was a beautiful trend trade on today for Monday. And usually Mondays ain't, like I said, usually Mondays you're trading from the high and low. And sometimes it's just session trades. You don't really have a scalable trade. Like this one is definitely, in my opinion, a scalable trade. Just because everything played out beautifully. Okay. Let's see if we can look at one more. I'm just randomly picking something here. Okay, this is EA. And then this was a 2-day, again, this has changed already. So coming into the market at 8, this was 2. So for the 2 days of previous breaks, we had the breakout fell there. So that was 1. We had another breakout, right? As you can see, this low took out the previous day low, and that's 2 days of breaks. So today we're looking for price to break the low again and take it out. And guess what it did? It took it out. And once it took it out, it got support. And now your entry is at yesterday's low. I mean, look at that. That's how it works. Okay. So that's how you would read that. So we had the 2 days of previous breaks. Okay, so this was 1, this is 2, and here is 3. Okay, so it's 3, and then it, we already had touch 1, touch 2, and then as we were, as London was going into the gap to New York, we had the 3rd here. So now we have 3 hits to the low. It's a W pattern nonetheless. Visible W pattern. It wasn't anything that you could like, oh, I wonder what it's doing. No, this was a visible W pattern for us to take this long because we saw the 3 breaks. Okay, it took out the low of yesterday. So you definitely, if it takes it out and it doesn't come back, then you need to know that we are going to go in the opposite direction. We're reversing. Okay. So that's how you read these things, guys. You have to be able to identify where price broke out. Did it take out the previous day lows or the highs? Or perhaps there's equal highs and equal lows, right, that you want to consider. And there's going to be all different kinds of variations. And it's, you just want to keep those things in mind. I hope you had a chance to take a look at the video that I posted, and I will attach it to this one for these particular 2 high of week, low of week trades so that you can see What are some of the different characteristics that you want to look for when you're looking at this setup, if it's a setup that you want to take? Now, these are beautiful trade setups, guys. The market has moved enough for you to see how far we are away from the peak and how many breaks that we have with the previous day for you to say, okay, we're at number 3, and this is where it can get confusing because this is definitely the third day break, right? Now the question is it going to continue to break through that, or is it going to get support? So that's why it's important for you to identify those levels and then wait for price to react and respond to them. And you are then responding in real time. That's how you'll be able to get really good at spotting this easily. Okay. So guys, I appreciate you all stopping in here and checking this video out. And I will look forward to seeing you guys. Be sure you check out the Profit Taker dashboard, guys. The information is going to be in the description below. And, we'll also be in locals. So if you're not a part of that, join us in locals, guys. And we appreciate you all. We'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now.